Hi, I'm Danica Cooley of Thinking Kids Press. Our goal is to equip you to teach the Bible and Christian history to your kids. So over at thinkingkidspress.com is our store, and you'll find all kinds of resources and books that I've written to help you teach the Bible and Christian history to your kids. And over at thinkingkidsblog.org, we have all kinds of fun and exciting Bible crafts, parenting articles, resources to teach the Bible and Christian history, book roundups. So you can find lots of content over there to help you in your quest to teach the Bible and Christian history. One of the most, the most popular products that we've written, and something that I'm really proud of, is Bible Road Trip. Bible Road Trip is a 3-year Bible survey. It'll take you and your family in 32 weeks each year. So it's designed to be used by homeschool families, but lots of families adapt it to their own use. It's written in 5 levels. So it'll take you and your family from Genesis to Revelation in just 3 years. And there are fun crafts to do. You learn about the books of the Bible that you're in and Bible background. So that's exegetical. There's a prayer for the nations section, which is really just sneaky geography, but it also helps your kids learn how to pray for the nations. Let's see what else. We have notebooking, which we're going to go through, and then Bible memory. So there's some great stuff included in the program, and your kids will actually be working from the Bible, which I think is important. Except for the preschool kindergarten level, we do use a Bible storybook. It's awfully young, but if you want to have them hear from the Bible, you can just use the preschool kindergarten level with the 1st through 3rd grade reading schedule. So we have preschool or kindergarten, then lower grammar is grades 1 through 3, upper grammar is grades 4 through 6, dialectic is grades 7 through 9, and rhetoric would be grades 10 through 12. So each level is designed with that developmental stage in mind, so that you can teach your kids at a level that they're going to understand and enjoy. We have fun videos that go along with it that other people have developed and are really good. So we've scheduled those in, and books. So I am going to take you through 3 levels of the program in the curriculum, so you get a chance to look through and see what's actually in the books. So just real quick, this is the upper grammar curriculum for 4th through 6th grade. Then to go along with it are the notebooking journals, and we also have printable Bible memory verse cards that will help you just be ready for the Bible memory section. So let's take a look inside the curriculum. Let's talk about what's inside this curriculum. So these are 3 levels of Bible Road Trip. This is the lower grammar, which is grades 1 through 3, upper grammar, grades 4 through 6, and rhetoric is high school, grades 10 through 12. So there's also preschool through kindergarten and dialectic, which is grades 7 through 9. Now you can get a family curriculum, which is all 5 levels, and you will save money, or you can just buy them one by one. So this is the lower grammar. Every single level is going to have the parent-teacher guide. So with the family curriculum, you just have the parent-teacher guide in the beginning, and then you have the schedules. So in the parent-teacher guide, we go through the short explanation of Bible Road Trip, why it's important to study the Bible using the Bible, what you will need. So each level has resources that you can use with it
You have your coordinating Bible road trip resources, which are the note cards and the notebooking journals. Now, of course, everything besides the Bible reading and discussion is optional, but this will give you an idea of what you can use with it. We use What's in the Bible with Buck Denver is a great resource for preschool and kindergarten. 365 Great Bible Stories by Corrine McKenzie. That is the only level where we use anything other than the Bible to go through the Bible. But for preschool and kindergarten, it makes sense. So, with lower grammar, you're going to find books to read about the Bible, books to read about praying for the nations. There's books about how the Bible came to be. Same thing with upper grammar. With dialectic and rhetoric, we have different resources available. And these you can find on thinkingkidsblog.org. It talks about levels of learning. So the parent-teacher guide just briefly goes through what it means to be at each level and how your kids learn at that level. And how you can help them, and maybe some of the challenges of learning at that level, and how to just see those challenges as this is the way that God has created your kid right now. This is the way their brain is functioning, and this is how you can embrace that. So here's about leveling up or down. You can level up or down in different areas because your child is an individual and may struggle with notebooking, but may be really great at Bible memory. So we talk about that. Here's what we do in each. So you're going to research the word, read the word, and that's in the digging deep section. Meditate on it is memorizing the word, notebooking about the word, praying about the word, and then exploring further, learning more about the word and crafting through the word. So again, each one of those things besides reading the Bible and discussing it is optional. So then we're going to talk about in the parent-teacher guide, it discusses each of the resources, why it's a good resource for you and how you can use that. And this also goes through each of these sections. It talks about how to deal with the tough passages in the Bible and how to memorize. So, and then it talks about notebooking. So your parent-teacher guide is, I really suggest reading the parent-teacher guide. It's very in-depth and will help you a lot to understand the program. And again, if you can't do some of the supplemental activities, or you don't want to invest in the resources, some of them you can get at the library, but you don't have to, but it will enhance your understanding of the Bible and your child's understanding. So there's suggested schedules. This just gives you an idea, and I try to be really generous with the times here. Sometimes people see these times and they're like, I don't have 40 minutes a day, so adjust it. But it gives you extra time because I think it's important to give kids time to ask questions and just really think. So this gives you an idea of how long it would take you to do the entire program. Now, if you want to assign high school credits at the dialectic level, because that's grades 7 through 9, there's a discussion of how to assign those credits, what to name it, and same with rhetoric. And then here is how to schedule multiple levels at the same time. One of the things I hear over and over again, and this is why I designed Bible Road Trip this way, is how strong the program is in allowing your family to read the Bible together. And this is a way to go ahead and schedule it together. Okay, then you have a table of contents. All right, so this is where each level is going to get a little different. I'm going to flip through to the third week and show you, because each year one, or in each year, week 1 is the same, essentially, because your kids are going to be learning about what is the Bible and why is it a big deal. Now, some of these assignments are not the same, the memorization isn't the same, but the readings are. And Week 2 is different. So a lot of people think that week 2 is the same, but this talks about exploring the Old Testament. And in year 1, we talk about referencing the Old Testament in the New Testament, how God pulls it forward. And in year 2, we talk about types or shadows of the that the Old Testament uses, and then how those are explained in the New Testament. So that's different. And then obviously in year 3, it's going to be exploring the New Testament. So, all right. So this is the schedule for week 2. So I will show you. So this is where we really get into the reading. Genesis part 1. So each week you're going to have an overview of the book and what you're going to be reading this week, things to look out for. Like we talk about here, how the first 11 chapters of Genesis cover primeval history. The word primeval comes from the Latin word primevus. No one really knows how to pronounce Latin exactly, but so I probably slaughtered it, but we don't even know. So primus means first, and avum means age, so primeval means first age. So our reading this week covers the very first history of mankind, and then I'll talk about some of the dating and stuff. Okay, so each day you have assigned reading, and then there are discussion questions. So here you're going to read on the day 1, and it's based on a 5-day schedule, and some weeks, like when I was showing you week 1, there's only 3 or 4 days of reading. It depends on the book and what's going on with your reading that week. So here is going to be like most weeks where you have 5 days of reading. So you're going to read Genesis 1 through 3, and then you have specific questions about your reading. I like to read Genesis 1 and then do the questions for Genesis 1. Here you're going to have memorizing the words. So here's your memory verses. Then researching the word. So here for lower grammar, you're going to read 66 books, one story, and pages 13 and 15. So that's not a heavy amount of reading for the week. And then here's a craft you can do to help cement what your kids have learned that week. Here are some notebooking prompts. Praying about the word. This week would be to read about Israel in Window on the World, and then choose 3 things to pray about for Israel. Learning more about the word. You're going to watch a fun DVD and then read what is a canon from the book Guarding the Treasure, which is an excellent book by Linda Finlayson. Love it. So this is week 3 for lower grammar. Let's look at week 3 for upper grammar. Again, in the upper grammar, you're going to have the very same parent-teacher guide. You're going to have weeks 1 and 2. And then week 3. So same overview of scripture, but you have a little different reading. Here you have more chapters to read, which you can see given the fact that it's on multiple pages. You have multiple discussion questions. You have more memorization going on with upper grammar than lower grammar. Now that might mean there's more verses, like from different sections, or it may mean that I add another verse to the section. For lower grammar and upper grammar, usually the books and resources are the same, which makes it nice, because if you have kids in 1st and 3rd grade and 4th and 6th grade, it's super easy. You have the same video, same reading, same praying about the word. You're going to have more notebooking prompts probably, same type of craft. Okay, in dialectic, which I did not pull out for you, but there is, you're crafting through the word. You're going to have a date section, which allows your children your middle school children, because that's when their brains are making connections. It allows them to put the dates of what's going on in scripture and what's going on in the world at that time into order and just really figure out what's going on. Okay, so this is Rhetoric, which is grades 10 through 12. Again, you have the same parent-teacher guide. And if you buy the family pack, these all come together, but you only get one parent-teacher guide, which makes sense, right? Okay, so same introduction, but the schedule is going to look really different. So again, you have, with rhetoric, your child is going to read the entire section of scripture. So with lower grammar, upper grammar, sometimes the reading is condensed, so we might skip sections that are iffy, that you may not want to introduce your child to yet. Like Judges 19 is skipped in lower grammar and upper grammar because it's a really hard section of scripture. And it's really appropriate more for the middle school, high school level, and do not want you to introduce your third grader to that because I put it in there. If you want to, that's something that you and your spouse need to decide on doing yourselves. And then for the lower grammar and upper grammar, some of the other things that might be taken out are long sections of genealogy, and sometimes your kids are going to end up reading the whole section. It just depends. But the goal is to make your child understand the grand story of scripture, the grand themes, and get them through it. And then the next time you go through at a slightly different, deeper level. And then by the time that they're in high school, they're going to read the whole Bible. Okay? And then memorize the word. Again, there's going to be even more Bible memory verses as you go up. And in preschool, kindergarten, there's just like one smaller, sometimes truncated verse. So then you have in dialectic and rhetoric levels, so middle school, high school, your kids are going to, in 3 years, memorize the first 12 chapters of Romans, but just a few verses added a week. So that's helpful. Okay, so then there's crafting the word, which there's a research project at the dialectic level. Here, our kids made a video presentation. The idea at the rhetoric level, and the reason we don't have notebooking journals for that, is to keep your own notes and then go out and teach it. So either teach it in a class to younger kids, hold a Bible study, or our kids made videos, and I wasn't ready to put them on YouTube, but they would show it to me, and they really learned to articulate and speak about what they believed through that process. Praying about the word, you have two different resources for that. At the dialectic and the rhetoric level, they're different. So here you're going to use Operation World for high school, and they're going to learn about Israel, Lebanon, and Palestine the third week of year one, and they're really going to read about it at an adult level and then come up with 3 things for each country to pray about. There's a video. There's also the first 7 weeks of each program, a book to read about how the Bible came to be, because it's important for apologetics for your kids to understand that and know that. That isn't in this printed version, but it is in the new version. So then notebooking about the words. For rhetoric level, there are study questions in the resource they're going to be using, and I think it's really exciting. The resource they're using for the rhetoric level is a beginning level seminary resource. It's not hard to read, but it's going to challenge them. It's going to talk to them about why we believe what we believe, and how to interpret the Bible correctly, and they're going to learn a ton from it. It's going to be a great thing to send them out into the world knowing. So that's that. At the dialectic level, which is middle school, they're going to be keeping track of the dates and also having this research project. It's just a quick 2-page research project. So we'll show you that. I'll show you that when I talk about what's in the notebooking journals. Okay, so this is just a look, and you can see it's just the same for each week of the program, and now you have seen inside of Bible Road Trip. So now you have a good idea of what the program is like, what's inside of there. Each week is color coded, so if you get the family version, you'll immediately know what's going on. You can make your assignments, and that is the curriculum.